So this is just kind of a fun little flyer that we have about how to spot a Real Men Wear Pink candidate, and just kind of the commitment you're making is to fundraise to help the American Cancer Society with our breast cancer programs and services and research, with the goal of raising a minimum of $2,500 to raise awareness throughout the month of October by wearing pink, and utilizing your social and business networks to share what you're doing and ask for support. So now we're going to get into some of the digital fundraising tools that we have available. We have a lot available for you guys, so that's super exciting. And I know that everyone probably has varying levels of social media and things like that, but there's probably something for everyone in this. So the first thing that you guys will probably realize that you have is your fundraising dashboard. When you first register, you're taken to your dashboard, and this is kind of your home page of your campaign. So you can do a ton from this page. You can send emails, thank donors, track donations. You can customize it. You can share on social from it. You can connect a Facebook fundraiser. So it's just kind of your one stop for all things Real Men Wear Pink and fundraising. And we're going to get into a little bit more detail on how to do some of these things. So this is kind of the top of your fundraising dashboard, and what I want to point out here is this area. This is where you can really personalize your page. So you can edit your goal, you can edit your personal page URL. So at the end of this URL, you can add whatever you want and update it, and then that's just uniquely yours. You can add a photo or multiple photos, and then down a little bit lower, you can put like a description about why you're participating. So there's a lot of room for you to customize on here, which is going to lead to some more engagement, and it's pretty easy to do. So yeah, so there's a little bit lower why I wear pink and how you can kind of edit all these different things. And then you can also enter donations from here. So it's just a really easy place for you guys to kind of customize and get people involved. And so the next thing you can do, there's a really fun ask for donations area at the top. So if you click on that guy, it's going to take you to our email center. And this is what it looks like. And at the bottom of your fundraising dashboard, there's a place for you to send emails. And the cool thing about doing it from the dashboard is we've already written emails for you. So you literally can just like choose a message that we've already written. You can tweak it a little bit. You can send it as is. It auto-populates the link to donate and all that, so you don't have to worry about it. It's just kind of a one-stop shop. So there's fundraising messages, which is you asking for support, and then there are pre-written thank you messages that you can send that are like thanking people for their donations. So you can upload a bunch of emails to this. You can send one-off emails. However you want to use it is up to you, but it's a really great resource that we have. And you are able just to do it all from here. So you don't have to worry about writing your own email, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate doing that. So the other thing we have is our Facebook fundraising, and this has been a really great tool for the American Cancer Society. So I know some of you have Facebook and some of you don't, but if you do have Facebook and wish to use it to fundraise, you should connect it through this dashboard, through your fundraising dashboard, because then the money comes back to your campaign. So at the top of your dashboard, you'll see a big blue bar, and it just says like reach your goal faster with Facebook, continue with Facebook. You just click on that, and it's just a couple of clicks, and then it sets it up for you, and then you're able to edit it. You can edit your goal, and it's just a really easy way to invite people to donate, and people tend to have a lot of success with this tool. So that's something else that's available, and you can start it through your fundraising dashboard. So it's pretty easy. And then the other thing we have available to you is an app. If you search in your app store, whichever device you have, you just search ACS fundraising and it'll pop up. But the app is super great because you can do all the things we just talked about doing from your computer on your phone. Plus you can accept credit card donations and you can mobile deposit checks. So if you don't download it for anything else, mobily depositing checks is a game changer. You don't have to worry about getting them to me. You don't have to worry about mailing them anywhere. You can just do it straight on your phone like you would for your bank. So, and it does come back to us. I had someone ask me the other day, like, where the money went to. It does route to the ACS bank account. So it doesn't just go into nowhere land or my bank account. It goes to ACS. And then another platform that we have that we are not always the best about talking about is we have a subscription to a platform called Raise Your Way. So if you guys decide to do any kind of personal fundraisers, you can use this. We can create ticketing, we can create donations, we can create any kind of fundraiser you want, and we can link it back to your campaign. So this is really great if you have a really creative idea that you want to put out there that is different than the tools I've already showed you. You can set yourself up on this, and then I can help you on the back end and customize it. So it's really easy to use and is a great way that we can set up any kind of ticket or donation, raffle, anything like that we can do on Raise Your Way. So if you have questions about it or want to start a fundraiser that way, please feel free to reach out to me and I will make sure to get you set up on that. Do you have something to say about that, Matt?
No, I was just gonna say, do you have an example off the top of your head, Ashton, that might fit into that?
I don't have an example other than these screenshots on the.
I don't either. I'm just trying to think of one though.
Well, I came up with one actually, just as you were talking about it.
Great.
At the end of October, during October of last year, I had a lot of cops who are badge collectors who wanted to buy my pink badge from me. So I could actually do a raffle, and at the end of October, those badge collectors could have purchased tickets, and the winner will get my pink badge for the year.
Yeah, that's a great way to use it. Other people have, I can tell you ways other people have used it. Sometimes people want to have like a sporting tournament of some kind, and we can set up the registration on Raise Your Way. If you have anything that you want to like quote unquote sell or give away for a donation, we can set that up on Raise Your Way. You can use it for just a bunch of different things. Ashley, did you have another example you wanted to share about Raise Your Way?
Yeah, I actually just dropped a couple in the chat box, but some other examples are like a golf tournament. I know some people talked about doing a pickleball tournament. It's a way to kind of process everything through that. I've seen art auctions for those who, if they're in that industry, putting up different art opportunities. Pre-COVID, I've seen like tasting events at breweries or distilleries or something like that, but there's just you can really be creative. It's just kind of one way to kind of help funnel revenue, that way you're not like trying to collect funds from your friend Joe and your friend Matt and your friend Jay. Like it's just kind of one way to kind of section them into that. So just a couple of examples, but we can definitely provide more if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, and if you're interested in using it, like I said, just let me know and I'll make sure we get you set up on there. And then I'll request for the credit on the back end to be credited back to your campaign, so we can get that set up pretty quickly for you. So kind of why do we use these online fundraising tools? Kind of our why behind it is that candidates who fundraise online, nearly 55% of all of our revenue is raised online. So these online tools are a great way to get people engaged, to get them giving. And, you know, it's the way the world's moving, so we've moved with it. So people who connect to Facebook fundraisers on average raise about $500 more than those who don't. So I understand not everyone has Facebook. So if you don't start one for this. But if you already have one, it's a great way to connect. And it's an extra $500 normally, which is great. Candidates who send emails raise 133% more than those who don't. So email senders raise an average of $3,000 and non-email senders raise an average of $1,200. So really that personal ask to people can be a huge game changer. I know even like with my own family, like if I like just tell my parents I'm doing something, like they don't generally donate, but when I send them that email and I say, Mom and Dad, I'm doing this, then they're more likely to send me money. So I send an email every year to my friends and family, and that's how I raise most of the money that I raise in a given year. So it's definitely a great way to reach out to people. And we already wrote the emails for you. That's the best part. Making a self-donation, candidates who make a self-donation raise 91% more than those who do not. I think it just shows people that you're committed to your campaign and that you're putting in the effort, and so I think it makes people feel more excited to give. So if you just even like 10 minutes to 2,500 is what we like to say. But signing up online, setting up your Facebook fundraiser, send one email and make a self-donation can easily add up to $2,500. So feel free to be as creative as you want with your fundraising. We love supporting fun, different ideas, but it can be as simple as just setting up these online tools and just asking people. And we have a ton of resources available to you. So we have a Facebook fundraising flyer and promo video. We have some information about the app. And one of the things I'm going to send you guys, I tried to send it and it didn't work, but I'll try again, is our social media toolkit. And that is going to have this year, it has some sample posts for you that are already written. It has this virtual background that's on my Zoom. It has that available for you guys to upload. It has, yeah, just like pre-written posts for Facebook, LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff, as well as a couple of like different photos you could use to like post on your timeline and things like that, or on LinkedIn. And so we'll make sure we get that to you. So those are just some of the resources we have available. So we are excited to share those with you and hope that you will find them easy to use. And then the other thing we like to talk about is just ACS does recognize candidates in a bunch of different ways. There's a national top 10 leaderboard, which if you guys just like even want to check out, it's the top 10 real men candidates in the country. And so it can get pretty competitive. I think last year the top real man raised over $100,000, but it's really fun to see what some of these guys are doing in different cities and how they're raising money for ACS. And then you'll see there are fundraising badges that you can kind of earn along the way as you're raising money. And so those will be automatically added to your fundraising dashboard and on the website. And then locally, we promote all of you guys on social media. We have some media partners that we will do our best to push you guys on. We have just basically anywhere we can recognize you, we do. So you'll see like in the action items later that I do have a couple of requests from you guys that will make that easier, but we will be promoting you a bunch locally as well. So that was a lot of information that I just threw at you guys. Do you guys have any questions over what I've shared?
Ashton, it's not necessarily a question, but one thing to remind all the other real men on this call is that a lot of corporations have matching programs for people who donate. So when if you are reaching out to somebody and you know that they work for a corporation, just it's something to mention to them, that if their company has a match, to encourage them to apply for the match so that that money can just double up what your efforts have been.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. That's a really great reminder. Last year we had a candidate whose friend made a $1,000 donation, and then his company matched it. So that was a really great thing. So those companies that do that are great. I'd love for you guys to share any tips or tricks or anything you've learned so far as you've gotten online, anything that you've found success with. I know Brian already has over $1,000 online, so if you guys want to share anything or share any ideas you have, this is a great time to do that.
I feel embarrassed to say this, but I did not realize that there were actual emails contained within the dashboard itself. I've been sending out a lot of personal emails through my work account as well as my personal account. And that I've noticed, has worked very, very well. And again, using my dog because she's so adorable, I always send pictures of like, my dog thanks you, or do it for my dog, or just something silly like that. And that has really seemed to work.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Brian. I'm sorry you didn't realize they were pre-written, but I'm glad that they've worked for you.
No, it's fine. I get to, write my novels to everyone.
There you go. And one of the things that we actually do have in that social media toolkit I was mentioning, if you are interested in putting an email signature or anything in your email signature about Real Men, there are some examples of how to do that in that social media toolkit. So that can be an easy way to raise awareness as well. Anyone else want to share anything? Any tips or tricks, Joe, that you've learned over the years you want to share? Or
Yeah, I would, some of the things I've talked about is that you'll be surprised how much of an impact social media can have in your campaign. I have Facebook, but I'm not actively in it, but I do put Facebook, calls for donations. This year I'll do the fundraiser. And you'll get donations from people that you may not have connected with in years. LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, that's another one that is underrated in terms of the type of reach that it has. So I definitely encourage those. This year I was telling Brian and Frank that my commitment is I'm going to post to Instagram every day what I'm wearing in pink. Just as a way to kind of keep that top of mind with the people that are part of my network and Instagram. But the other thing I would say is that there's a lot of items that have been put here on the screen, and it could seem a little bit daunting, but it really, once you get into it, it take as much of your time as you would think that it does. And don't get deer in the headlights with some of the information that's out there, because it's easier to navigate than you think.
yeah, thanks, Joe, for sharing that. Anyone else want to share anything? Matt, you came off mute. You might have a few words of wisdom.
Definitely not words of wisdom, but for sure, piggybacking off of what Joe said, when you're coming up with different ideas, and obviously Ashton and Joe are a great source for different ideas. Really, I think what often resonates though is like, what's important to you? Like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you, your friends and family like to do for fun? And then how could you tie fundraising into that? And the social media piece is a big part of it. But if you came up with 2 different ideas that you plan to do in the month of October, and you just start kind of promoting that with your friends and family, that was the thing for me when I did it a couple of years ago, was just recognizing that people just really involved and really do want to support you in your effort to do this, whether it's that or your coworkers. So it's not something that I think you've really got to overcomplicate. Really think about what is, of interest to you and how people can rally around that, and you'll be surprised at different ideas your way.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. That is helpful. Anyone else want to share anything before we move on? Okay, I'll take the silence as a no, but feel free to interrupt me if something comes up. So there is an ACS store. I'll send out the link to you guys, but if you are wanting any kind of Real Men Wear Pink paraphernalia, we do have a store where some of the proceeds come back to ACS. And so I just wanted to mention that. It's new this year. So during pandemic times, they have a place, I think there's like a polo and a jacket and things like that. And then just kind of wanted to leave you guys with some solid action items. I think that's always helpful to kind of know what to expect. So if you haven't registered online yet, please do that. Download that fundraising app. You don't know when you'll need it, but when you need it, you'll have it, which is always great. Start a Facebook fundraiser if you do have Facebook. Go ahead and send that email through your fundraising dashboard. And then a couple of things that I would like from you guys is, one, a nice picture of yourself. If you could send that to me via email, that would be great, so I can feature you on our social media platforms. And 2, an address where we can drop off a gift during work hours on October 1st, which is the start of the campaign. We have some little pink kits we'd like to drop off for you guys. So if you could get those 2 things to me, that would be extremely helpful. And So yeah, so these are kind of your action items, what I want to kind of leave you guys with to kind of get you started. And then just a reminder of a few upcoming dates. You should have gotten an invitation in your email to the ACS research panel. If you can't attend, no big deal, but if you would like to, that's exclusively for our Real Men Wear Pink candidates, and it's going to take place on Thursday, October 1st at 12 p.m. Central Time. And then also our Making Strides event is happening on October 24th, beginning at 9 a.m. We normally have a really big walk here in Kansas City, but this year, as all things are different, so is that. And we'll be pinking out a few trails in Kansas City, so I'll make sure to get you those details, but we'd love for you to join us for that. And then we'll announce our highest fundraiser and kind of give that fundraiser a prize here locally in Kansas City on Monday, November 2nd. So those are just some dates for you guys to keep in mind. This is just, you know, it's time for us to stand up and to protect the ones we love. And I just really appreciate that you guys are willing to do this for us and to do this for all the people in our lives that have been impacted by breast cancer. You know, it takes all of us to make an impact, and I'm just so grateful that you guys said yes when we asked. So thank you for being willing to stand up for us. It's a great time, and we very much appreciate it. Any final questions before we part? Anything that you guys would like from me? Anything that you guys would like from each other?
Ashton, will you send the link to the ACS store?
Yeah, I'll send that in. I'll send a recap email out that has the slides and everything, and I'll include that link to the store in it.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, you guys have my contact information. If you do have questions, feel free to call or email or text. My cell phone numbers and my signature line. Feel free to text it whenever, call it whenever. I'm more likely to respond more quickly if it's a text message, but if you call me, I promise I'll call you back. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much for participating this year. And I really look forward to working with you all in the month of, well, now through the end of October. So thank you so much to all of you.
Thanks,
and that's all we got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you have a great night, and thanks for your time.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.